Welcome back to Helping Hands. Today I am going to be reviewing the CR1 carbon fiber road bike. And I know this is an older model, but you know, it's not that old. I'm not sure the exact age. But you can look it up on the internet, which I'm sure you have if you're interested in this bike or you have one. But you know, if you don't have one, you're interested in getting one of these, maybe an older model, like this. I highly recommend this bike. Probably any carbon fiber bikes from Scott are probably going to be very similar to this bike as well. So after riding and having this bike for as long as I have, I can only give excellent reviews on this particular bike. This was my first road bike. I have a mountain bike as well, which I'll be reviewing if you want to come back and check that out. But I bought this bike from a local bike shop that was like a mom and pop shop that was owned in my local city for years. They recently went out of business, but they had it for years. They probably just... You know, the people that the husband and wife that owned it, they were like a little old couple, and they would still, it was kind of neat. You go into the bike shop and, you know, they'd still be in there, and, you know, they rode bikes for years, and then the son took it over eventually, and then maybe he no longer wanted it because it was there for years and years, which was pretty neat. And they're the ones that recommended this bike to me. And I just absolutely love it. I love this bike. I literally feel when I'm riding this bike like I am flying. And I'm sure it has to do with it being made out of carbon. Carbon fiber. And, you know, I don't even have to be like kicking it out or anything like that. You know, just casually riding the bike. Going up and down hills, I feel like I'm flying, just riding it casually. It has been such a fun, great bike. I've gotten a lot of exercise, a lot of use, and a lot of fun out of this bike. I would even ride this bike, like, you know, when I used to actually work for a company. I work for myself now, but, when I worked for a company, I would ride my bike every day before work, like 10 miles, and it was like no problem. And honestly, it was probably had a lot to do. I mean, I'm fit, but I'm not that fit. Probably had a lot to do with this frame because it was so easy. You know, there was a great bike trail by where I used to live, and I'd go 5 miles up and 5 miles down before I even went to work. And then I'd come back, take a quick shower, and be at work. Of course, I didn't have to be at work until 10 o'clock. But nevertheless, it was just fast, easy, great workout before I went to work. And it was so awesome. I've never had to change anything on this bike yet, even though I've used it quite a bit, you know. I did change out the seat because I really like this galactic seat that I have on here. But that was when I first bought it because, you know, I didn't change it out because I had to. And that's really all I have done with it. I do have the tires checked periodically, especially if I haven't ridden it for a while. And I've never had to really replace any of the tires or anything. So yeah, this has been such an amazing bike. I highly recommend it, and I'm sure like all the carbon models are going to be similar to the Scott carbon bikes. So hopefully this will be helpful for you in choosing your road bike. Again, this Scott CR1 has been a great bike. I've had to just do very little maintenance, you know, checking out the tires from time to time. And I've rode this bike quite a bit. I can't wait to get on it again because it's been a little while now since I've gotten out there, but I'll probably do it this coming week. And yeah, I just love this bike. The bike stand that I have it on, I'll be reviewing that next. So, and it's pretty awesome as well. So if you want to come back for that video, that would be great. And you know, what else can I mention about this bike other than it flies, it's easy to ride, it's comfortable. Even if you're not a seasoned like road biker, if you're not involved in any kind of competition or anything like that, just as casual, even like for a first road bike. This was my first road bike. Of course, these are pretty pricey for a first, but my attraction to it was because it was carbon. So it would be light. If I had to lift it or whatever, you know, here and there, in and out of my vehicle, you know, it was much easier for me. That really was what drew me to the carbon. I was like, you know, yeah, I need something a little lighter I can work with if I have to be moving it around and stuff. And, you know, I could afford it or whatever. And so I went for something that was a little more pricey for my first bike. But you know what? It's been worth it. It really has been worth it because it is so easy to move around. These are the kind of bikes that you can lift up above your head, you know, and because they're so incredibly light, but not so light where it doesn't feel like it's constructed well when you're riding. It does. It's strong. I feel strong and confident on this bike. It's a strong frame. And it's a light frame, and it's a lot of fun, and you do feel like you're flying. The gears work great. The seating's not bad. I always thought, oh, you know, I don't want a road bike because those little tiny seats that you have to have, you know, they're going to be uncomfortable and all this. It really wasn't. It really wasn't. I think this seat that I traded it out for, I really like the way it looked. Because it's all Astro, you know, it's pretty cool. And it might be like a little more comfortable than the one that came with, but I don't think so. But anyway, my point is they're not that bad, you know, because they're little. You think, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so uncomfortable. They're really not that bad. I don't know what it is, the way that it's made or something. The way these bikes are made, it really doesn't bother much at all. Yeah, they're really not that uncomfortable at all. And you can move them around to suit you, and you can, like I said, you can change them out to whatever kind of bike seat you want. You could even get one that's bigger if you don't like the little road bike seats. You can get a bike seat that's bigger if that's what you wish. But yeah, I highly recommend this even for a first bike. Even though it's a little more pricey, like I said, the reason why I got it was because I knew it was going to be easier for me to be hauling around, you know, putting it in my vehicle and whatnot, or putting it on the bike carrier, or, you know, in the back of my Jeep or whatever. It would just be easier, and it was, but it was a good investment as well because. Yeah, this bike just felt like I was flying. Like I said, I rode it before work to get some exercise in before I even went to work. And I don't know if I would have been able to do that on a heavier frame. This frame, I don't know for sure, because this is my only and first road bike. But on this bike, I could do that. It was no problem. Got great exercise, workout on this bike, and just pure enjoyment and fun. Lots of fun. So any questions, feel free to ask. Like I said, I haven't really had to, you know, I thought I needed to maybe change out the tires not long ago because it was getting older. Some of the tread, because I sometimes use this on a bike trainer. And I thought, oh, the tread's wearing a little thin, I better check it out. And they said, no, you still have plenty of tread, no problem. You don't need to change them out yet. So this has been an overall great bike. I highly recommend it. The gears are smooth. No, I have nothing bad to say about these bikes. And like I said, most of the carbon Scott bikes I bet are going to be very similar. So this is for the Scott CR1, and I really would appreciate the exchange of energy. It kind of performs a ripple effect, and whatever you put out there comes back to you. I would really appreciate that exchange of energy with a like and subscribe. Thank you, and have a great day.